How's it going, everybody? Desir here. I want to apologize as far as getting this video out so late. Usually I can try to get all these out before the following week of Cosmic Crucible starts. However, it's pushing very hard in Dark Dimension 8, so I kind of fell behind as far as recording this video. Now, you might have noticed there were certain news videos that came out due to the blog. Those I felt were very important, so I would definitely wanted to prioritize those. However, I should hopefully be back on track here. You're going to see a lot more Dark Dimension videos, and I have a lot of other interesting videos in the works, so please stay tuned. Make sure that you do subscribe to the channel so that way you don't miss those. Now, as far as my opponent today, we are going against Sassy. Let's go ahead and check out the TCP and defense to see what we're going against today. Sassy is 83 million TCPs. This is going to be a punchdown for me. However, I am currently 1-1. We're still in Masters 1 as well, so I don't want to take my opponent for granted. Let's go ahead and check out the defense, that way we can see what we're going against today. For Stage 1, my opponent has Hive Mind, Spider-Man Noir, and Black Knight. For Stage 2, they have the Spider Society with Mephisto. For Stage 3, they have the Annihilators with Super Skrull. For Stage 4, they have the X-Treme X-Men with Rogue. For Stage 5, they have an interesting mix. It's mainly going to be the Orchis team in here with some support. And for Stage 6, they have the Darkhold with Silver Surfer and Dorm. For Stage 1, we're going to end up using our Cabal team with Archangel and Lizard. As far as the ISOs go, we have everybody as strikers. However, Lizard is going to be a raider. Lizard will be going first. We're going to get those crits. That's going to call in all the strikers, and this should be over very quickly. Our Lizard will be going first. We're going to start by using the ultimate, and we do get several crits on the other side of the field. This is going to call in all of these strikers, and we'll get some pretty good damage on the Black Knight already. The enemy Void Knight's going to end up using his ultimate into the Lizard, and that is going to flip all those positive effects into negative effects, and the assists do end up coming in because of the strikers. Now that it's our Iron Patriot's turn, we're going to stay targeted on the Black Knight and use the special that calls the assist in, and we get the kill. Now that it's Namor's turn, we're going to end up targeting the Spider-Man Noir and using the ultimate, and the match is over already. For Stage 3, we're going to end up using our Mercs for money with Ultimus and Apocalypse. Apocalypse is going to take off the safeguard from the enemy Gladiator. Our Ultimus is going to go first in ult turn 1. That should hopefully flip all those positive effects into negative effects, and we should start getting ahead of the enemy once that happens. As I mentioned, our Ultimus will be going first. We're going to use that ultimate into the enemy Gladiator. The Super Skrull does end up targeting the Apocalypse and that ends up using the special that ends up hitting our Old Man Logan, so now we get to take our turn. Old Man Logan's going to target the enemy Gore and use the special. Now this is an RNG hit as far as who Super Skrull hits. As long as the Super Skrull ends up hitting the Old Man Logan, our Old Man Logan will be able to go ahead of the enemy Gore. For Deadpool's turn, we're going to end up targeting the enemy Ultimus and using the ultimate ability. That does end up getting the stun on the enemy Ultimus. For Old Man Logan's turn, we're going to end up targeting the enemy Gore and use the ultimate ability. That ends up taking out Gore and doing several bleeds and flipping those positive effects into negative effects on the enemy. Now here, the enemy Super Skrull does end up using the ultimate on us. That ends up killing our Pandapool and Deadpool, but they do end up coming back. For Pandapool's turn, we're going to target the enemy Super Skrull and use the ultimate. That calls the assist in from Old Man Logan. That does end up triggering the passive from Thanos. For Old Man Logan's turn, we're going to end up using the basic into the Gladiator. That calls the assist in, but he ends up surviving. Old Man Logan's going to end up using the special into the Thanos endgame, and that ends up taking out Gladiator and Thanos endgame. Now we can tunnel down the enemy Super Skrull and get the victory. For stage 4, we're going to end up using our Superior 6 team with Vulture. Now because there is no Cyclops, this match is actually a lot easier. Cyclops can throw a wrench in it, where if you end up killing somebody on accident, that could push the Forge and then your match could go sideways very quickly. Our Vulture will end up going first in this matchup, and the enemy team is starting out in stealth. Vulture's going to target the enemy Nightcrawler and use the special. That's going to end up putting slow on Gambit, Nightcrawler, and Rogue. Green Goblin Classic's going to end up using the ultimate into the enemy Nightcrawler. That does end up taking the stealth off of the Forge, the Sunspot, and the Nightcrawler. Kraven's going to end up targeting the enemy Forge and use the special, so we did end up getting the ability block on him. Doc Ock's going to use the special to summon out the Shocker. For Spider Slayer's turn, we're going to stay targeted on the enemy Forge and use the special. Because he is a striker, we do get an extra striker hit into him. Green Goblin Classic does end up getting pings and ends up taking out the Sunspot. Forge does end up bleeding out, and now it's Vulture's turn. We use the ultimate. We don't get any turn meter rewind because of the evades, but we are able to knock the evades off. Shocker's going to target the enemy Nightcrawler and use the ultimate. That does end up taking out the Nightcrawler. For Vulture, we use the basic into the Gambit. Green Goblin Classic's turn is up. We end up using that special into the Gambit. We do get the kill on him. Now we're going to tunnel down the Rogue and we're going to get the victory. For stage 2, we're going to end up doing the double sack method into the Spider Society with Mephisto. We're going to start by using the Invaders, we're going to follow that up using our Bifrost, and we're going to end up taking it out using our Secret Defenders with Eternals. The main goal of the sacks was to pull as many abilities as we could, but mainly it's going to be getting those 2 exhaust points on the Mephisto. Ms. Marvel Harley will be going first in this matchup. We're going to start by targeting the enemy Ghost Spider and using the ultimate. That's going to do a turn meter rewind to the Spider-Man Pavitra, Ghost Spider, and Mephisto. Black Cat's going to target the Peter B. Parker and use the special. That's going to end up putting the trauma stun on him. Ghost Rider Robbie's going to then target the Spider-Man Pavitra and use the special. That's going to put the ability block on him and flip some positive effects. For Icarus's turn, we use the ultimate, so we're going to flip all the positive effects into negative effects. Cersei's going to target the Mephisto to use the ultimate. That's going to get the vulnerable along with more turn meter rewind. Ghost Rider Robbie is going to use the ultimate, and we do end up getting a kill on the Pavitra. Black Cat's going to use the ultimate into the Mephisto. That's going to do a turn meter rewind to him along with a striker hit. Now we're going to take out the Penny. For Icarus's turn, we're going to target the Peter B. Parker and use the special. That gets another kill. And now we can tunnel down the Mephisto and the Ghost Spider. This was a very easy matchup. For stage 5, we're going to end up using our Hive Mind with Spider-Man Noir. Because of those Mysterio summons, we can kind of lean into that for getting kills to get the Carnage speed boost, and Void Knight's going to go very fast as well to where he can flip some positive effects into negative effects. The enemy Scientist Supreme's going to end up going first here and using the ultimate ability. Once that happens, our Spider-Man Noir gets to go. We're stuck on the Sasquatch, however there's a Mysterio summon adjacent to him. We're going to use the ultimate ability, and that already starts to push the Mysterio. For Void Knight's turn, we use the ultimate into the Sasquatch, and we're going to get a lot more pushes, which is going to get the Carnage passive triggering on the entire Hive Mind team. Carnage is going to use the ultimate into the Sasquatch, and we get a kill on him. For Gwenom, we're going to target the Quicksilver and use the ultimate. The ISO attack ends up taking him out. Gwenom's going to use the special to get the stun on the Lady Deathstrike. Red Goblin's going to end up using the ultimate. And as you see, we're basically just pushing these characters, and we're just going to keep going. This was a very easy matchup for us. For stage 6, we're going to end up using our Tangled Web, Kestrel, Ironman Infinity War, and Nova comp into this Darkhold, Quicksilver, Dorm team. Our 2099 will be going first in this matchup. We're going to end up targeting the Agatha and use the ultimate, mainly because she has that death proof. For Spider-Weaver's turn, we're going to target the Morgan Le Fay and use the ultimate. We were aiming to get that trauma stun on her, and we did. For Nova's turn, we're going to target the enemy Wong and use the special. Now we got a stun on the Wong. Silver Surfer is going to end up using this ultimate, however the charges from Spider-Weaver do end up saving us. Kestrel is going to target the Silver Surfer and use the special. And that ends up taking out one life of the Morgan and gets a lot of defense down on the enemy team. For Iron Man Infinity War, we're going to use that special into the Morgan Le Fay. We end up getting a kill on the Morgan, and we get a ping from the Kestrel that takes out Dorm as well. For 2099, we use the special to get the ability block into the Agatha. For Spider-Weaver's turn, we end up doing the basic into the Silver Surfer. We should have done the special because that is unavoidable. Kestrel's going to target the enemy Silver Surfer and use the ultimate, and that does end up getting the permakill on him. For Iron Man Infinity War, we end up doing the ultimate ability. That does end up taking out one life of the Wong. For Nova's turn, we target the Agatha and use the ultimate. So now we do have the Nova Force out on our side of the field. Kestrel ends up doing the basic into the Agatha. We get one kill off of her. And right now we basically get to pick and choose who we want to take out. This ends up being a very easy cleanup once you get to this point. And we did end up winning this matchup. Our opponent got a 48,960. We got a 49,373. Our opponent Saucy had a pretty good score. They dropped 3 matches though, and we only dropped 2 matches. Let's go ahead, check out the defenses, and see what happened. For stage 1, we end up doing our Cabal, Archangel, Lizard into that Black Knight, Hive Mind, Spider-Man Noir team. We got an 8370. For stage 2, we end up doing the double sack method into that Spider Society Mephisto. We were able to get the final hit using our Secret Defenders Eternals. This got me a 7559. For stage 3, we used our Mercs for Money, Apocalypse, Ultimus into the Annihilators Super Skrull team. This ended up getting us an 8357. For stage 4, we end up doing our Superior 6 Vulture into that X-Treme X-Men Rogue. This got us an 8364. For stage 5, we end up doing our Hive Mind with Spider-Man Noir as a 5th option. This worked really well into this Orchis mishmash team. Now if this did end up having more Orchis members, I don't think this would have worked as well. However, we did end up getting an 8362 for this team comp. For stage 6, we end up using our Tangled Web, Kestrel, Iron Man Infinity War, and Nova into that Darkhold, Dorm, Quicksilver team. This got us an 8361. As for our defenses, our opponent ended up using a Masters of Evil, Northstar Apocalypse into our Extreme X-Men Dorm. This got them an 8366. For stage 2, our opponent ended up doing their Cabal, Emma, Zemo into our Weapon X Out of Time team. This got them an 8371. For stage 3, our opponent ended up using their full Illuminati into our Annihilators Super Skrull team. This got them an 8359. For stage 4, our opponent ended up doing the double sack method into my own Spider Society Mephisto team. They end up cleaning that up as well using the Secret Defenders with Eternals. This got them a 7565. For stage 5, our opponent used their Tangled Web, Kestrel, Nova, Spider-Man Big Time into my Infinity Watch. This got them at 8358. For stage 6, our opponent ended up doing a burn attack into my Illuminati Black Knight team. They ended up trying to take it out using their Superior 6 with Old Man Logan, and Old Man Logan was the last one standing. This got them a 7941. Overall, I was very pleased with how my defense and offense performed in this matchup. Saucy was a very good player, and I just had a very rough defense, which I fully understand. They still only dropped 3 matches, which all 3 of those matches were sacks, which I honestly would have done the same thing. Now my defense did end up changing again because I did unlock Odin, so stay tuned next week to kind of see how my defense fares. When I start doing more of those defense options video, I'm always going to make sure to have options for people that don't have Mephisto and don't have Odin, so please keep that in mind. Now if you did end up enjoying this video, please remember to give this video a thumbs up, share, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.